Shalom to the nation of Israel. This is Bar Rizal coming in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Racha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of the great millstone and to the hopeful elect, pushing his word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. This lesson is going to be titled, The Nations Are Mad. And it's going to be a quick one, but an important one nonetheless. So let's just go to this quick article. EndTimeHeadlines.org. It says Japan court has just ruled that gay marriage is not protected by constitution. Says marriage was created for bearing and raising children, which they are 100% right. But it's funny that, a country like Japan, who is in bed with the beast, right, Babylon, is now basically saying no, they don't want to be part of that, right? Because they all know that that stuff is wicked, but because they got in bed with the beast, right? Because of what the beast has, the gold and all the luxury and delective tasties, that's what comes with it. But now they're saying no, they don't want it anymore, right? Okay. Man, I don't want to really read this article. I don't really care to read this article. It's more the title, right? So Jeremiah 51 and 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore the nations are mad. And I just explained that, right? They drunk the wine of her philosophies, her doctrines, her ways of life, right? It is why that whole homosexual, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, but let's just talk about that. Homosexual, philosophy spread across the whole planet, right? But now these nations are saying they're not about that anymore, right? Because they realize that they've been drunk, right? And they're angry. They've been drunk off this wine. They're angry. Right? And this is just one of many nations that are slowly turning their back on Babylon. Right? Because they just had enough. And part of it is because they're getting power too, right? They're getting their own military is being built up. They're building allies outside of Babylon, which is America, outside the beast, right? So it's going to get to a point, because they've always hated Babylon, but they needed Babylon because it has things that they need. But now they're like, well, we got our own military, we got our own weapons, our own missiles, right? And we're joining forces with other nations. Like, they're going to be like, they're going to get to the point where they don't need them. And they're going to start trading with other nations when it comes to money, resources, right? So they're not going to need Babylon anymore. And then eventually at that point, they're going to destroy it, Babylon. That's the end goal. Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And we just read that article. The people are they're not rejoicing. They're mourning. They're upset. Right? They're angry. And you can see it on the planet right now. The people are mourning. The planet, the animals are mourning. The plants are mourning. The air is mourning. The earth is mourning. Right? That's why you're seeing all these earthquakes and volcanoes and tornadoes and tsunamis, right? It's because the earth is mourning. It's because the wicked are in rule. Okay? And it's just going to get worse before it gets better. It's just like when you have a cold or a flu. It has to get worse before it gets better. The flu just go away. There's a point where it gets really bad, but then it gets better after that. So that's what's going to happen to this planet. We got to eradicate the virus, which is the wicked, off of this planet, right? And their hold on to the earth, right? It needs to go through a purge, Revelation 17:4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornications, right? So that's the way Babylon, which is America, portrayed herself when she was in the beginning. You know, she's dressed in purple. Purple is a royal color, and scarlet color, decked with gold and precious stones. She looked very nice and inviting and pure, right? Having a golden cup. But really what was in the cup was full of abomination, filthiness of her fornication, right? That's what came in the cup. But when these nations slept with Babylon, that woman, right? They drunk the cup. That's what happened. They had to drink the cup. It's like you're going to her house. She's like, you can't sleep with me unless you drink out of my cup, right? So they drank it because they want to get with that woman because she looked good, right? Verse 5, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. You know? And that's what America is. It's a mecca of wickedness. Revelation 14:8. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all the nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. So at the end, that America's going to get destroyed. It's going to get wiped off the map. It's going to be a desert. First, it's going to be a lake of fire. Then when that cools off, it's going to be a desert. Right? And it's because of the wickedness that they're doing there. But as you can see, like I read in that article, the nations are they're mad. So they're starting to spit out that wine, right? You're starting to reject that wine. You don't want it anymore. Okay? So I hope this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect that pushes word and truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. And shalom till next time.